Yo, 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 what is up? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another edition of a watch along video. This time around, it is still in the English Premier League. It is a top of the table clash. Yes, it's top of the table clash, guys. It is first versus third. And it doesn't really matter who's in those positions, but if it's a game between teams in first and third, then it is going to be a top of the table clash. And this time around, it's between Aston Villa and Arsenal. Yes, the game that cost Arsenal the title a couple of years back, 2024. They actually lost to Aston Villa. So they have a bit of a grudge against Aston Villa in recent memory. And actually last season, Arsenal also lost over here at the Villa ground. It's called, the name of the Villa ground? Wow, have I forgotten? Villa Park, yes, Villa Park. They lost at Villa Park 1-0. Remember that time it was back-to-back victories for Aston Villa. They managed to beat Man City and Arsenal in back-to-back games. So, but this time around, as you've seen this season, things have drastically changed. Since last season, things have clearly changed. Arsenal this time around are top and look more way stronger than the rest of the team, the rest of the chasing pack. Aston Villa started poorly beginning of the season, started with I think 2 draws and 2 losses. They're actually in 19th position. At game week 4, they had even not scored a single goal. But since game week 5, 6, they started to turn things around, started to pick up results, and currently they're on an unbeaten run of like 5 games. And in fact, their last defeat was against Liverpool at Anfield. That is their only defeat in the past, 7 to 8 games. In fact, in their recent games, especially, I think 5 games, they've actually won all of them. They beat Bournemouth 4-0. They beat Leeds 2-1. They won in the Europa League against Young Boys 2-1. They also beat Wolverhampton 1-0. And just this past Wednesday, they came from behind to beat Brighton 4-3. As for Arsenal also on a good, decent and beaten run since their game week 3 loss to Liverpool. They have managed to avoid defeat in all their games. So most recently, their form the past 5 games, they drew 2-2 with Sunderland, beat Fuller or the Tottenham 4-1. What was one of the most one-sided derbies I've ever watched. In fact, I think from now on, Tottenham or Tottenham Arsenal should not be considered as a big game. Should be considered as a big club versus a small club, because Tottenham clearly have the small club mindset. And if you are to see highlights of that game, they went completely defensive right from the start, and it did not stop them from conceding 4 goals. Yes, and that, of course, Arsenal, on that particular day, man like Eze, their new signing, managed to get a hat-trick in that game. In fact, it was actually poetic justice, because this guy was he was about to agree and finalize a move to Tottenham just a few days before, and then out of the blue, Arsenal swooped in at the last hour, put in a bid for him, and he went to Tottenham. So, like I said, even on that particular day, the stars, man, it's like when you're haunted by a particular thing, it's like it follows you everywhere. Because on that particular day, Eze came back to torment Aston Villa, or the Arsenal, or the Tottenham, a club that should have been his employers if it wasn't for Arsenal coming in at the last hour. Then, of course, Arsenal, after that victory, managed to do a wonderful victory, or get a wonderful victory against Bayern Munich 3-1. And then just recently, last Sunday, they drew 1-1 with Chelsea rather. In fact, on that day, they were actually playing the game with 11 men, but somehow Chelsea were all over them, but at least they managed to avoid defeat. In fact, they had actually conceded. They scored. They actually conceded, so they're actually trying to save the unbeaten record. And then just on Wednesday as well, they also managed to beat Brentford with a very much changed team. So today is actually going to be a good game. In fact, I fancy this to be a very exciting game for for the neutrals and also for the people that do enjoy the sport, because these are a tale of two teams who are in form, and isn't much to choose between them. So I don't know how the game is gonna go, but we are going to see. We are going to see. For my prediction, I think I'm just gonna favor an Arsenal victory because they clearly have the defensive stats and record to actually overcome an Aston Villa side that has actually been scoring for fun recently. But the only thing that worries me about Aston Villa is their defense, because you don't really know how they're gonna turn out, and there's always like a mistake in them somehow. Because Martinez, after the World Cup, you could clearly see that he lost the plot as well. He was pulling off mistake after mistake. So that is the only thing that messes, that stands in the way of Aston Villa today. Otherwise, as far as the attack is concerned, the attacking is pretty good. In fact, they only sit 6 points behind Arsenal, because Arsenal are on 33 points with 14 games played, while Aston Villa are sitting on in third position, 27 points from 14 games. So as far as the two lineups are concerned, let me just show you the lineups for Aston Villa. I have Martinez in goal, Matty Cash, Konsa, Pau Torres, and Ian Matson as the defenders. Then, of course, in midfield, gonna have Kamara and Onana. Kamara buoyed by that wonderful goal against Wolves last week. Wonderful goal, wonderful screamer. And then, of course, McGinn as the other midfielder alongside Tillemans, and then of course Rogers on the left, and of course man like Ollie Watkins, their top scorer, as the lone striker. For Arsenal, the team pretty much change a few, do a few changes, make a few changes in this game. Raya in goal, Ben White comes in to replace is it Mosquera? Mosquera was injured against Brentford, so he was unable to complete the game. So actually, White came on in that game, and Timber was actually switched to centre back. So that is why he starts today. Timber centre back with Hincapie, the Colombian, as the other centre back pairing, and Calafiori as the left back. In midfield, have Zubamendi, Rice, and Odegaard. Odegaard making his first start since he got back from injury. He's the club captain, and then of course Saka on the right, Eze on the left, and of course man like Merino as the lone striker. But he's gonna play as a false nine because he's actually been in good form. I actually thought in my prediction, I thought that Eze was gonna come back. Not Eze, but Gyökeres was gonna come back into the team, but anyway, at least Arteta is doing one thing, not one thing, but at least he's been able to maintain Merino, and like they say, you never drop your form players. Whenever your players are in form, you never drop them. Maybe the only time you can consider dropping them is when they're out of form. And since Merino has been performing wonderfully well for Arsenal as the lone striker ever since Gyökeres was injured, then there's no reason to remove him out of the team. So that is as far as the two lineups are concerned. On the bench for either side, for Aston Villa, we have Marco Bizot, the goalkeeper, Garcia, Luca Dean, Victor Lindelof, Buendia, Amings, Bogarde, Marlen, Jadon, Sancho. That is the Villa bench. Those are the guys that make up the Villa bench. For Arsenal, have Kepa Arrizabalaga, Salmon, Lewis Kelly, Nogard, Waneri, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, Madueke, and Gyökeres. So, as for Arsenal, the only missing guys that are unavailable for them are Mosquera, who's going to be out for around 8 weeks with an injury. He's going to be back in mid-January. Saliba, still not yet back. Gabriel is also unavailable, and Kai Havertz. So, that means that at least the likes of Gabriel Jesus, even though he's not in the match they scored today, at least you can clearly see that he's no longer on the injury list, so at least he's back to fitness. As for Aston Villa, the only two absentees in their team are Tyrone Mings and Ross Barkley. So at least you can say that pretty much both teams are almost full strength. Apart from Arsenal, at least that is not the best defensive pairing that they would like to put out there, but at least it works. And at least against Brentford, it worked for large parts of the game because Timber was actually brought on right around the 30th minute when Mosquera got injured. So both teams are made their way onto the pitch, just about ready to start. Uh, for Arsenal, I'm happy at least to see the bit of squad depth on the bench. At least Martinelli, Trossard, Madueke, and Gyökeres. Wow, that's not impressive, man. If you have those guys on the bench ready to come on in any game, that's quite impressive. Very, very impressive. Anyway, guys, do make sure that you are liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Do all that wonderful stuff of liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If it's your first time here on the channel, do make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, as also like the video. It's absolutely free so that you can help the algorithm push the video to more viewers out there. That is why we adore your likes, and of course liking the video is absolutely free. Yeah, so today Unai Emery is playing against, as always, his former club. In fact, post Wenger, he was the manager that was charged with taking the helm at Arsenal, but he did not go to the heights that they had hoped. So eventually they had to let go of him, and actually he was replaced by Mikel Arteta. That was way back in 2019. One of his wonderful runs came in the Europa League, where he took the team all the way to the final, where they actually lost to Chelsea by 4 goals to 1. Europa League final way back. Was it in 2018 or 19? I think it was 2019. In fact, on that day, Chelsea dominated Arsenal from start to finish. It was a very dominant performance from Chelsea. Yes, ran out 4-1 winners on that particular day. So in fact, Unai Emery is one of the few managers that has a very impressive record in the cups. In the cups, meaning that either the Champions League or the League Cup or the FA Cup or the Europa League. In fact, when he was in Spain with Sevilla, he was actually the manager who would get them to many finals. In fact, because Sevilla is the club that has the most Europa League titles. And back then, um, when he was at Sevilla, used to get to back finals. In fact, there's a time where they actually went three finals, actually got to 3 finals in a row. So we're just about ready to start. Declan Rice is gonna start us off for Arsenal, and we are off, guys. We are off. Yes, why is Raya sleeping? That's the thing I've never understood, especially with the footballers, man. Especially now, when some of them do kick the ball, like just slide all over the pitch and go down. It's like they're wearing slippers, man. Or is the ground that where the pitch that wet, that it's that gets that slippery? Anyway, we're gonna see. We are going to see. Yep, Odegaard was coming back from an offside position, so it's gonna be a free kick to Aston Villa. Yeah, Mikel Arteta this particular season, very impressive, especially defensive stats. He's ensured that he's keeping the other clubs at arm's length, ensuring that at least they do continue this consistency of title charge that they have had for the longest time. They hope that this season finally to be the season in which they get over the line, because in the past 3 seasons they are finished in second place. It's not an achievement, but if they're going to win this season, then those three runners up, or those three second place finishes in a row would actually now begin to look as a consistency. Anyway, it's throw into Aston Villa. Madsen. Yeah, this Madsen, I don't know why they didn't start Lucadine today. Or is it the one who started against Brighton? Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Come on, put the ball on the ground, man. So like 5 headers, man. 5 headers in a row, man. Thank you, Rice. Put the ball on the ground. Tackled by McGinn. It's now with Zubamendi. Back with Timber. Timber back to Raya. Fact, not really surprised, but it's quite clear that this time around, Timber is way more solid at the center than White. Because you see, when Ben White was signed by Arsenal, he was actually signed as a center back who could play on as a right back. But it's quite clear that Arteta favors Timber as the center back, and White plays as the right back. Actually, back in the day, especially 2022-2023 season, it was actually White's best performance in an Arsenal t-shirt. In fact, he played remarkably well. A season in which Arsenal also fell short. In fact, he's one of the standout performers rather for Arsenal that season and also in the season that followed, 2023-2024. I don't know what Martinez is doing. I don't know why was he wasting time, man. He waited like 20 seconds just on the ball doing nothing. And of course, Martinez is also a former Arsenal player. In fact, he was the understudy to, was it Bernard Leno? Yes, because back then Bernard Leno was the starting goalkeeper for Arsenal, but Martinez was unable to break into the breaking the team, so he was actually sold to Aston Villa. In fact, he's been a revelation for them. He has actually performed remarkably well for Aston Villa. It's just that unfortunately for him, he's a kind of player who doesn't really go for long periods of long periods of not any game but of any run in the side without a mistake in him. So he's a kind of player whom you don't really know when he's gonna make the mistake, which actually started happening post World Cup, because before the World Cup he was very very solid, but post World Cup 2022 could clearly see that the mistake started to rack up for him. This is Rice. There are rumors that Rice will be unavailable in this game, but at least he has recovered from the knock. He has recovered from the knock. Matikash is now Tillemans. Matikash. Can clearly see that both teams are giving each other mad respect. Yeah, because like I said, this is actually first versus third. Pau Torres almost lost out to Saka. This is Madsen. Madsen closed down by White. The ball goes out for a goal kick. So you can clearly see that both teams are giving each other I think the respect the two of them deserve, because Aston Villa, for all intents and purposes, they're not really a bad side. They're not a bad side at all. It's just that last season they could not really deal with the pressures of the Champions League and also playing in the league at the same time. So eventually they fell off. So, but actually qualified for the Europa League by finishing in 6th position. So this Pau Torres is now Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers is Tillemans, unable to control the ball. It's picked up by Raya. Raya, oh man, almost overran the ball past his goal line. Huh? Seriously, Raya, what are you doing? This is Tillemans. Gonna be a throwing for Aston Villa. Yeah, Raya. Hey, Raya, man. The risk taker. The risk taker. But at least if there's a keeper that loves taking such risks, Raya. Actually, he's done well, taking those risks. Because back then, Arsenal used to play from the back. Used to have the likes of this goalkeeper at Newcastle. What's his name? Ramsdale. But Ramsdale was quite flawed, especially on his feet. So that's why they had to get rid of him and bring in Raya, who's actually been very, very good for us. No, in fact, out of the top keepers in Europe, I think he's in the top 5. The keepers in Europe currently, because he's been a wonderful servant for Arsenal. Wonderful servant. He was actually brought in on loan from Brentford, then he was signed permanently. Arsenal. Is Konsa into Kamara into Madsen back to Martinez. Martinez back to Pau Torres. Yeah. Arsenal at least are doing the high press. They're doing the high press where they're pegging Aston Villa back into their half. But so far, I can say the game has been, I don't want to say slow, but I think both teams are still trying to assess each other, and you can clearly see that they both don't want to consider a goal earlier, and neither team is going full gang ho on the opponent. And you guys also do make sure that you vote in the chat. If you think Arsenal are going to carry the day today, make sure you vote in the chat. If you fancy an Arsenal victory, an Aston Villa victory, or a draw in this game, feel free to make your opinion known in the poll. Is Konsa back with Onana. Onana back with Martinez. Martinez into Rogers. Rogers loses out. Odegaard, shoot! Odegaard! Straight at Martinez. Yeah. Rogers overran the ball there. Dispossessed by Timber. Then was picked up by Saka and then fed to Odegaard. Odegaard with a shot to straight at Martinez. Okay, that ball out of play? Ball was out of play, man. It seemed like this playing from the back of Aston Villa might actually mess them up. Remember, even against Liverpool, they utilized the same tactic, and they gave away a very, very cheap goal to Liverpool that was scored by Salah. So, I don't know. They still keep insisting on playing out from the back, but it seems like they did not really have the accuracy to play that kind of game. Saka would have been an offside position. The game is eventually gonna spring into life, eh? It's picked up by McGinn. Watkins! 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 What a save by Raya! Whoa, what a save from Raya, man. Yeah. What a save from Raya, man. What a save. Goal saving, goal saving what? Yeah, it was a goal what? A big save from Raya. Wonderful. That is why Raya is up there with one of the best keepers in Europe right now. He's actually also the number one keeper for Spain. Maybe Watkins should have played in Rogers, because McGinn was by himself, slid in Watkins at muscle timber. Yeah, but it was more of a tame shot, eh? He not really get it out of his body. Yeah, so at least both teams have had a chance, eh? That has actually been a result of the opposition, eh? Because I don't know why Califiori was appealing for a foul there. That did not look like a foul whatsoever. That was a massive opportunity for Villa. Massive opportunity for Villa, man. And it's back with Konsa. So Eze was even playing in this game. This is the first time I've mentioned him, eh? But he's playing on the left, eh? He's a natural position, so that is not really his favorite position. It's picked up by Cash. Then this is McGinn. This is Kamara. Kamara into Tillemans. Tillemans. This is Rogers. Rogers. Unable to play through Madsen. Aston Villa seem to be buoyed right now, especially that Watkins chance has kind of energized them, eh? But anyway, it's still way early in the game. It's still way early. It's Kamara. It's picked up by Rogers. Rogers, was he fouled? No foul on Rogers. It's picked up by Saka. Saka with a lot of green grass to run onto. Saka into Merino. Merino back to Saka. It's now with Ben White. Odegaard. This is Rice. Calafiori. Aston Villa players are back behind the ball. This is Rice, Zubamendi. Come on. Arsenal need to move it a little bit quicker. Can't just pass it such a low tempo and expect to break down this Aston Villa team because all their players are back behind the ball. Arsenal clearly need to pick up the tempo, especially when they attack. I don't know why Ateta is telling them to be more compact because Aston Villa also very good, especially through the middle. Maybe the best joy that Arsenal can have today will be through the flanks. McGinn, Tillemans, back with Konsa. There's now Madsen. Some green grass to run onto. Madsen coming forward. Madsen into Rogers. Watkins. Come on, Watkins. Do you expect the referee to give you a foul for that? Surely. It's now with Odegaard. That's poor play from Watkins. He's now Saka. Come on, Saka, shoot! Saka! Wonderful save from Martinez into Odegaard. Come on, who's in the D-top running onto that, man? Saka! Headed wide. Wonderful passage of play from Villa, rather from Arsenal. Saka was in the middle, given the license to shoot. Wonderful save from Martinez. He parried it away, all into the path of Odegaard. I have a feeling that this game might it's beginning to oh, what a pass from Eze. Cleared by Konsa. Is now Timber. Ben White. By Rogers. No foul on Saka. Saka, get up, man. There's no foul on you, man. Get up. He's now with Pau Torres. Back to Martinez. Martinez into Kamara, Konsa. This is the kind of game I think that might need somebody like a Gyökeres. But Merino is still okay out there because at least he's playing as the player who's actually very good in the air as well. So it's actually good. He's McGinn into Tillemans. Is Madsen. Villa also just playing with the same kind of tempo as Arsenal. It's like neither team is really moving the ball faster in the attacking, never in the attacking third. So maybe that's the only way to unlock the other defense. You need to move the ball quicker and not give them time to settle into a defensive shape. This is Pau Torres. Wonderful pass into Madsen. Blocked by Ben White. Now with Saka. Saka into Merino. Merino dispossessed by Kamara. Now with Onana. Back to Konsa. Into Kamara. Kamara. Watkins. Come on, Watkins. Much better pass, man. Oh, man. This might be threatening for Arsenal. Saka versus Torres. Saka with the shot. Blocked by Pau Torres. The goal kick. That should have been a corner. I thought that was a corner for Arsenal. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, both teams should have been a corner. Come on, that should have been a corner. It was off Pau Torres last. Anyway, maybe this was expected because you see both teams played on Wednesday, and the games that the opponents were actually quite difficult because Arsenal played against Brentford. It was a hard-fought victory against Brentford. Because Arsenal didn't scored one just before the 20th minute. And then they scored the goal, the game-winning goal in the 90th minute. Because Brentford were also very, very disciplined. Brentford were playing a very, very disciplined game. In fact, at some point, you'd think that they would capitalize from the number of set pieces that they had. And they actually pushed Arsenal. So it was actually a hard-fought victory on that day. And of course, Aston Villa also played a very hard-fought victory against Brighton, where they're actually behind. Watkins in behind. Watkins, ball is out of play, man. Come on, Watkins, surely. Hey, this guy, man. What the heck was he doing, man? I think he's clearly looking at the ball run out of play and it's like he's unable to control it, surely. He was clearly on side. He clearly overran the ball out of play. So I don't know why you were so relaxed. It's like he had a lot of ground to play. Had a lot of it's like the what is it? It's like the touchline was very, very far from the ball. By Eze, Califiori. Califiori now with Timber into Rice. Now with Odegaard into Saka. Saka back to Odegaard. That's Odegaard's best position, especially playing off the right, cutting onto his left foot. Normally likes to do the combinations with Saka. Anyway, guys, do make sure that you are liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If it's your first time here on the stream, the Whiskey Vala channel, do make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Do all that wonderful stuff. It's actually the first game of the weekend. 4 games will follow from 1800 hours, that is 6 p.m. East African time. Or if you prefer GMT, it's gonna be 1500 GMT or UTC. So we're gonna have Man City versus Sunderland, Bournemouth Chelsea, Everton Forest, Tottenham Brentford, and Newcastle versus Burnley. Then right after those games are over, from Califiori in offside position, no, he's not. After those games end, we're gonna have Leeds versus Liverpool from 2030 East African time. Or rather, that's 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time. If you prefer GMT, 17:30 GMT. Whenever you're referring to GMT, whenever you're referring to GMT, you always use the 24 o'clock system. This is a Saka. Oh, is he offside? Take it back to VAR. I think that was a wonderful move from Arsenal. Look like a genuine goal, eh? Look like a wonderful move from Arsenal. I love the move, man. Odegaard. Oh yeah, Saka was in an offside position, but Eze who finished it wasn't. Eze who was not in an offside position, who finished the chance. It's clearly onside, but I think Saka was offside. Yeah, Saka was offside. Yeah, wonderful move by Arsenal. At least they broke down the Aston Villa defense. And you see, at least for the first time, at least they moved the ball a whole lot faster. This is what they need to do, eh? That is what they need to do. They need to move the ball faster. What is Rogers complaining about? He's claiming that White almost stamped on his foot. Oh, okay. Nothing much. This era of VAR, players need to be careful because any slight touch, that decision might be taken to VAR, and you might be on your way off, man, to a lengthy suspension. And it's a free kick to Arsenal, started by Zubamendi, now with Timber, now with Saka. Saka is now Zubamendi. Inkapi is back with Eze. Is Odegaard. Arsenal currently just settling into a pattern that is a bit more possessive. While Aston Villa are just happy to sit back now. This is Timber. This is Saka. Saka loses out to Rogers. Watkins loses out to Timber. It's now with Ben White, Odegaard. Now with Saka. Saka defended by Matsen. Now with Rogers. Rogers, no foul on Rogers. Yeah, that was a dive. Clearly, that was a dive. That was a dive. Aston Villa are unable to get out at the moment. Like they can't string even like 4 or 5 passes together. Is Timber, Odegaard trying to find Saka. Saka fouling Matsen. Actually, maybe Martin starting against Saka is actually a good change or a good decision, because Lukadin is not the best defender at defending one-on-one situations, even though he might be good going forward, especially offset pieces and deliveries, but he's not very good when it comes to defending. In fact, you always get worried, especially when he's up against a very tricky winger, somebody like Saka. This Matsen, yeah, is able to force a corner off Timber. Looked like Timber was nudged off the ball, but the referee deemed it to be okay. But shoulder badge, those are allowed in the sport, yes, because it's a contact sport. You're allowed to nudge your opponent off the ball, which is fine. Matikash over the corner for Aston Villa. Matikash, poor corner, man. Didn't even get over the first defender. That was Rice. That was a very, very poor corner from Matikash. 2 players going for the same ball for Villa, surely. It's now with Eze. Come on, referee. That was a slip by Eze. That was no foul, man. That was a slip by Eze. He got away with one there. That was a slip by Eze. That was no foul by Konsa. It was not a foul by Konsa on Eze. That was actually a slip from Eze. But anyway, it's already been called by the referee, so the foul to the free kick to Arsenal. It's now with Zubamendi. Yeah, Aston Villa are just happy to sit back. Looking at this, Arteta has managed to reinvent this team, where Arsenal have their fullbacks very, very high. So they leave the build-up play to the likes of Eze and Odegaard, who actually try and build from deep inside the Villa half, while Califiori and White go up front. Like you might see right now, it's like Califiori and White are like the two strikers for Arsenal. Poor pass from Saka. So now with Tillemans. And then this is Rogers. Rogers. Rogers into the box. This is Matty Cash. Matty Cash! What a block from Rice. Yeah, it hit him on the ribs, man. What a block from Rice. What a block. That was a big chance for Villa. Sometimes that's the challenge of playing your fullbacks as strikers, especially having a very fluid attack, because you might actually get caught out. You might get caught out. Wonderful block from Rice. He's able to snuff out that attack. It's a corner to Villa, taken by John McGinn, club captain. John McGinn. John McGinn. Let's see what they're gonna do from this corner. The box punched away by Raya, but he was being fouled, man. Foul from who now? Sometimes these corners, man. It's like these goalkeepers, man. It's like they are so what? They are so salamander, man. They are so protected. There's nothing wrong with that. Clearly, there was nothing wrong with that. In fact, he was the one even pushing Rogers. Ah, come on, referee. Sometimes I think they need maybe to reinvent this, or rather rewrite these laws. Because these keepers are so protected. Somebody might think that they are supposed to be untouchables. And they are just players like the rest. Because when keepers come out for to pick up the ball up from the air, and then maybe they clatter into forwards or centre backs, nobody bats an eye, man. It's like it's deemed a safe play. But whenever now attackers do attack the goalkeeper, it's not deemed like a foul, man. Not a bad foul by Onana. How is that a foul? Sometimes some of these decisions, man, they're so dubious. Onana clearly got the ball very cleanly, but somehow he's penalized by the referee. It's not really a tackle from behind. He came from the side. Anyways, now with Rice. Now Hincapié. Hincapié back to Rice. Is Hincapié back to Rice. Just happy to keep the ball at the back. So you can see clearly the people holding the width are the two. Oh my God, what is Eze doing? The people holding the width for Arsenal are the two wingers, Saka and Eze. Because now Califiori and White are playing as inverted fullbacks. Some point you might actually see them way up there, man. Even in the striker's position. Maybe they are playing a fluid system where they allow them to. This referee, man. This referee. Come on, then if it's clearly a foul, then just blow for the original foul. Don't just wait for the ball to advance for some time and then you start blowing the whistle. Yeah, because the game is now not flowing. Like after every 10 to 20 seconds, a whistle is blown. So it kills the momentum of the game, man. And you want the game to flow. You don't want the game to be lackluster. You want the game to be start-stop. It needs to flow, man. Zubamendi trying to switch the flanks. Headed out by Cash. Califiori, the long throw, rather with the throw back in, looking for Merino. Merino doing surely. Clearly not on the same wavelength as Califiori. You know why Ateta looks worried, eh? Should not be worried, man. Just take it easy. Okay, it's still early days, man. I can't really say that Arsenal have been poor. Neither have Villa. It's just that both teams have wonderful pass by Rogers into Watkins. Watkins blocked by Timber. So poor, man. Seriously. It's like you just expect him to do that, man. Sometimes this Watkins fella, honestly, do not. I do question his football knowledge, because the decision that he does make, can't really say that they are all excellent decisions, man. Very, very simple decisions. This McGinn, come on. You guys just can't simply string together even 5 or 6 passes together. So now that is what I wonder, especially when it comes to these professionals. It's like they don't practice this. It's like just making successful 5 or 10-yard passes or 10-meter passes is a challenge for them. And even wonder, what are you always doing on the pitch? Is Zubamendi. This is Ben White. Odegaard. Cross it. Looking for Califiori. Ah, come on. Eze. Don't need to foul the guy, man. Don't need to foul the guy there. Eze. You don't need to foul him. Hasn't been the best half of football, eh? Come on, Eze. You need to foul the guy. Anyway, guys, make sure that you are liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It's your first time here on the Vinsky Vala YouTube channel. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. For a few of you that are new to this stream, make sure you support the channel by subscribing to the channel, man. It's John McGinn. This is Tillemans. Tillemans into Rogers. Rogers versus White. Rogers. What's he doing, man? Tillemans to the box. Kamara into Matikash. All the Arsenal players are back, eh? Got back quickly. This is Pau Torres. Pau Torres into Rogers. Donana. This is Pau Torres. Pau Torres crossed into the box. Matikash! Goal! Aston Villa take the lead, man. Aston Villa have taken the lead, man. Matikash! 1-0 to Aston Villa, man. 1-0 to the Villains. But maybe there was a suspicion of offside. Let's see. Let's have a look at the replay. Well, the catch was clearly coming off the backside, or the blind side. I think maybe there might be a hint of offside here. Maybe there is offside here. I think there's a hint of offside. Okay, he looks onside. He looks onside. And the only way that he could have scored that goal is through the legs of Raya. What a wonderful finish, man. What a wonderful finish. I'm sure it's going to be reviewed by VAR. It's being reviewed by VAR. VAR are reviewing that goal. So let's see what they're going to come up with. But it was a well-worked move. Well-worked move by Villa. Ball was crossed in by Pau Torres. Rice flicked on the header. And then the ball went to the back post. I think Califiori was sleeping because he did not see Matikash running on the blind side. Then Matikash just ran onto the ball. Very composed finish through the legs of David Raya. Now Villa have got something to protect. And it's still early days, man. It is still early days. Still early days. I still fancy Arsenal to come back to this game and win. Yeah, Villa Park is bouncing, man. It's more or less it's beginning to feel like a cup game. And like I said, this is actually a top of the table clash. It's a top of the table clash because Villa are only 6 points behind Arsenal. They are to win this game, they move on to 30, while Arsenal remain on 33. Yeah, so now Villa will just be happy to sit back. Nkapie kicks it forward to no one in particular. Martinez restarts play quite quickly. Califiori. This is McGinn. McGinn. Bad pass by McGinn. Bad pass by McGinn. Picked up by Saka. Like Villa right now playing with their tails up. This is Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers. Rogers trying to get away from White. Forces a corner. So Aston Villa, man. Anyway, Aston Villa have given a good showing of themselves in this first half. And like I said, that goal is definitely not against a run of play because you can't really say that either team was showing the desire to win this game. It was just more of a 50-50 game. So even if Arsenal would have scored that goal, or would have scored first, then it would still be a fair result because can't really say that can't really say that either team has been threatening to score. But you know, Villa just took their chance right there. It's another free kick corner to Villa. To the box, cleared by Merino. Merino, yep. He was hit by his own player, so that's no way in no way a foul, But I think he's already up on his feet. But still think Arsenal have what it takes to come back to this game, Especially since on the bench they have the likes of Gyökeres, Trossard, Madueke, players whom they can actually call upon to see whether they can get something out of this game. Raya restarts play. It's now with Timber. It's now Ben White. On us, no urgency. You're the team that is losing, man. Urgency. I don't know what you're waiting for. You think you have a whole day to play this game? You don't. You don't have a whole day to play this game, man. You better get a move on. You better get a move on. Don't think that you can just have a very, very poor showing and a very, very slow tempo approach to their passing game, and it's gonna be enough to unlock this Aston Villa defense. So they're happy just to sit back at the moment. Now with the Hincapie, Capie goes long. He's looking for Merino. By Pau Torres. This is Ben White. Ben White into Saka. Saka, Odegaard. Maybe what Arteta can do at halftime, if it goes into halftime this way, is maybe see whether you can change Saka into the box. Ben White to the shot. It was a team effort. Come on, Ben White. You should be barring shot chances, But you can clearly see the kind of system that Arteta plays. It's like his fullbacks are very, very attacking, which is actually a good thing. In fact, in a number of games that the previous games I've been playing, you can clearly see that Timber had also been getting on the end of crosses. Yeah, because Arteta honestly wants them to get high up on the pitch and just be amongst the goals and also be in the box to make up numbers, which is actually a good tactic because who will even think of trying to mark fullbacks whenever they attack in the box, because people will actually be more worried of strikers and midfielders. But fullbacks, nobody's gonna really pick them up in the box. That's why it actually causes creates extra bodies in the box. And actually, in that case, you can clearly see that Ben White was unmarked in the box. Just that you needed to work on his finishing. Here's Califiori, Califiori into Merino, Merino into Eze. Eze should have crossed that ball, man. This is now Rice, Rice into the box. Nice defending from Madsen, eh? Wonderful defending from Madsen. So, anyway, I think maybe Ateta can consider at halftime. Maybe, I don't know whether this is a tactic is working. Maybe bring on Trossard. I'd bring on Trossard at halftime. Just see whether he can spread the play. It's picked up by Pau Torres. Pau Torres into Magin. Magin might have cost his team a goal there. Rice, team effort. Come on, Rice. Should be blasting that into the bottom right-hand corner of Martinez's goal, man. Come on, Rice. That was a chance. Such a tame shot. This is Magin. Magin switches the flanks to Rogers. Rogers versus White. Rogers. Like, yeah, White actually kept it in. It's now picked up by Saka. Saka. Yeah, Madsen doing the smart thing there by bringing down Rice. Sorry, Saka, because that would have been a counter attack by Arsenal. Anyway, guys, do make sure that you are liking the video and subscribing to the channel. As always, if it's your first time here on the Vinsky Vala YouTube channel, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Of course, if it's your first time here, do all that wonderful stuff. If you are a returning subscriber, do make sure you support the content and the channel by liking the video. Watkins versus Hincapié. Watkins. Wonderful pass, but there's nobody out there, man, for Aston Villa. It's now picked up by Odegaard. This is now Declan Rice. Gonna have 1 minute of added time. Hey, Arsenal, man, what the heck is happening? Why is it that there's no urgency? They're just being beaten to every kind of duel, man. It's like Arsenal have been unable to win any duel so far in this game. And Aston Villa are just hoping to see this through to half-time. As they keep the ball, is Tillemans. Is now Konsa. Pau Torres. Is now Morgan Rogers. Just to be the last attack of the half. Morgan Rogers coming forward. Rogers away from White. Rogers. Tillemans unable to finish. Mesmerizing, man, from your Rogers. Hey, Morgan Rogers was twisting and turning the Arsenal defense, man. First Ben White, then Zubamendi. Yep, that was the last action of the half. So it's halftime. Halftime it's called the West Midlands. Aston Villa is actually located in West Midlands. So it's 1-0 to Aston Villa at halftime. Villa doing all that they can to hang on to their lead at halftime. And actually, on the balance of play, you can actually say that they've slightly had the better chances. But like I said earlier, even if Arsenal were to score first, it did not in any way mean that Arsenal had dominated Villa. It's just that this is a kind of game that has been even so far. Neither team has really been showing their attacking intensity or intent in this game. So if any one of the teams would have scored, then as Villa have done, it would have been a fair assessment of the game at that point. So But if Rogers would have actually scored that right at the end of the half, it would have been very, very peak for Arsenal. And remember, last season when Villa won this game, their game pretty much followed the exact same pattern that we are seeing today, where Villa took the lead. In fact, they took the lead early on, and Arsenal were unable to come back. Arsenal probed and threatened, but they were unable to come back into the game, man. Because on that particular day, in fact, Aston Villa actually scored very, very early in the game. They scored in the 7th minute, and they were able to hang on. It was all Arsenal, the remaining part of the game, but Arsenal were unable to equalize and at least get back into the game. So, like I said, this game is also following the exact same pattern that game did. Was it? Yes, it was last season. Yes, last season. It was last season because Villa actually won at Villa Park, and then at the Emirates they actually drew 2-2. It was a very exciting game as well. In fact, it was actually end-to-end stuff. The game at the Emirates was actually end-to-end stuff. So let me just show you the stats of the game so far. Hasn't really been much to choose from either side. So see whether we can get. Yeah, so this is what we have as far as the stats are concerned. As you can clearly see, Aston Villa 42% possession to Arsenal's 58. That's a fair assessment because Arsenal have kept the ball for large periods of that first half. Expected goals, Villa 0.93, Arsenal 0.87. Yeah, this one is actually, for Villa, it's actually quite high because of the chance for Watkins that he shot straight at Raya. Total shots, 4 for Villa, 6 for Arsenal. Total shots on target, 2 for Villa, 4 for Arsenal. In fact, all these shots have been straight at Martinez. The Saka shot, the Rice shot as well at the end of that half. Also, there's also another shot there, Ben White shot. And there's also an Odegaard shot, yeah. So pretty much you can clearly see that all shots are being straight at the goalkeeper, at Martinez. For big chances, you can clearly see Aston Villa are coming up out ahead of Arsenal in as far as big chances are concerned. Yeah, these two big chances, of course, the Watkins chance and was the Cash chance also a big chance? I don't know if it was characterized as a big chance. Actually, it wasn't. Actually, it was a big chance. And for Arsenal, of course, the big chance was the Ben White chance. It was actually shot straight at Martinez. As far as passes, as you can see, of course, Arsenal having more passes. To Aston Villa's 137, Arsenal 205. Yeah. So as you can clearly see, Aston Villa are just happy to sit back, just as they did last season. Let me show you the stats of that game so that you guys can also draw the patterns. Here you go. This is the game from last season. As you can clearly see, yeah, Aston Villa on that particular day were happy to let Arsenal have the ball. Can clearly see 38% possession to 62 on that particular day. Arsenal had all the chances. In fact, they kept the ball in Villa's half for such a long time, but they were unable to break them down. So, personally, I fancy Arsenal to come back to this game and equalize and maybe get the result. But based on how they are playing, it seems like if they do not change things in the second half, or if the second half just follow the exact same pattern as the first half, where they are just happy to keep the ball, it's like they're moving it about slowly, which is now the issue that they have. I don't know why they're moving the ball quite slowly. So if they keep that up, then unfortunately I don't see in in any way where how they are gonna come back to this game. Yes, Mr. Anthony, I was just saying it a while back. Yeah, if Arsenal do retain the ball, rather do continue the exact same momentum, not really momentum, but the tempo that they have had in the first half, where they are a little bit lackluster, they're just passing the ball slowly. I don't think that's gonna be enough to unlock this Villa team. And you and I both know, especially on Wednesday, we both predicted a win for Arsenal in this game. But like you said, the Arsenal might come back. Yes, they might come back. I would not in any way put this beyond them to come back. But what I'll do at halftime, I'd probably maybe sacrifice sacrifice maybe an Odegaard or an Eze or a Trossard. Either take off Odegaard or Eze for Trossard, because Arsenal clearly need to stretch play, especially because you see Eze is really coming inside, and you see at the same time, off the left hand side, both Califiori is inverting and Eze is also coming inside. So there's nobody to run out on the outside. And if you bring somebody like an Eze or even a Martinelli, they can be able to run or on the wing, get to the ball and maybe try and get in crosses into the box, which is what they need to do. But unfortunately, currently that side of the play is that side of Arsenal's that side for Arsenal is a bit underwhelming. Oh, I'm actually seeing a replay of that goal. It was actually Eze who was sleeping at the back post. I don't think he had anticipated the run of Matty Cash. Maybe he expected the ball to go into Oli Watkins in the middle. Saka will score. Yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Nothing is a given at this point. Nothing is clearly a given, because like I said earlier, this is the exact same pattern that this game had, especially last season. Because when Villa won this game last season, the game pretty much had the exact same pattern as it is as it is now. So that is the other challenge. Because back then Arsenal were just happy to. In fact, on that particular day, it was a poor performance from them, and Aston Villa, they, like I said, they scored early enough, and they were just happy to sit back, maybe play on the counter, which is what I expect them to do in the second half. As you know, they're also quite dangerous on the counter. Yes. So anyway, I don't know, Antoine. What do you think? What do you think from an analyst perspective? Because I say at the same time, I don't want us to just predict the game based on emotions and feelings. From an analytical point of view, as you have studied that half, you also have what it takes to get back into this game. If they just play the same way they played in the first half, or eventually their superiority is gonna show that regardless of how they play, they're eventually gonna break down this Aston Villa side. That's why I said if Arsenal just keep playing the way they are, I don't think they're gonna come back in this game, because I'd even fancy Villa to get a second goal. But it's still early days. But like I said, for me, for Arteta, I know I'm not him and I'll never be Arteta. The best thing that I'd actually do at halftime, rather for the second half, bring on Trossard. Bring on Trossard either for Eze or Odegaard. Maybe bring him on for Eze, because Eze has been kind of lost in this game. At least Odegaard is able to combine well with Saka. And the beauty with Odegaard, at least he has some wonderful range of passing. So maybe bring off Eze, bring on Odegaard or Martinelli or Madueke, just to spread play, just to more or less have more width. Because at least a Madueke, a Martinelli, or a Trossard will be able to play off the left. They're able to combine well with the defender on that side. Because currently, there's nobody who's going on. And you see, that's the other thing that now Arsenal are missing. They really don't have anybody, because now Califiori and Ben White are inverting. So there's nobody to run beyond the wingers and actually get to the byline and cross the ball into the box. Because all that they're hoping for is that Saka or Eze is going to beat their man and just deliver a ball into the box, which is wishful thinking at the same time, because what if they keep doubling up Saka on that far side each and every? Because as you can clearly see in this half, whenever Saka has gotten the ball, Matson has been very close to him. In fact, I don't think Saka has had any successful dribble. Has had any successful dribbles against Matson. So they clearly need to spread player. They clearly need to spread the width and maybe just get Califiori and Ben White to play on the overlap. Because at least if both of them do play on the overlap, they bring something else. But so far, as you can clearly see, both whenever now Eze and Saka pick up the ball on wide areas, Arsenal, the rest of the players are just relying on the two of them to beat their man and just cross the ball into the box, whilst White and Califiori are in the box making up the numbers, which it might work, but you see at the same time, it might not really work long term because you're honestly just relying on Saka each and every time or Eze to beat their man. What if they're unable to beat their man? Who's going to go on the overlap and just get those crossed into the box? And you see, a very effective tactic is now getting somebody, like I said, like Madueke, who's able to go now on the outside and just deliver those crosses into the box. And also maybe they can also make two changes. Maybe take off Merino and bring on Gyökeres, so that now when Madueke is crossing that ball, at least there's an aerial threat in the box. Gyökeres. It's not that Merino is any worse, but it's just that at least Gyökeres is a recognized striker. So it's always going to be just right around the penalty spot or the 6-yard box or in the box. Because whenever Arsenal do attack, sometimes you see you kind of notice that Merino is slow to getting into the box. So into the end of those crosses, which might actually lead to them wasting such chances. So anyway, we will see how things go. We will definitely see how things go, guys. We're just about to resume the second half. Yes, so because there was only 1 minute of added time. So in right about a minute or two, we're gonna resume the second half. I hope it's gonna be an exciting second half. Just hope that it's going to be end-to-end stuff. I'm sure, of course, Villa are gonna retreat further and further back into their shell and just hope to play on the counter. Yeah. But anyway, let's see. At least we still have 45 minutes of play to cover in this game. So, but so far, at least it's been I can't really say it's been the best game of football, but at least it's been fair. The result, I think, or the current score is a fair reflection of how the game has progressed. Because, like I said, if the game would have also gone into halftime at 0-0, I don't think you'd actually say, "Oh, Marseille, these guys have missed out on a big chance to actually go into halftime or in the lead." Yeah. So, yeah, I hope Arteta will be able to make those changes ASAP. Because I think what he needs to do is just be bold. Take off Merino and just take off Merino on Eze. Bring on. Thank you. He's had me, man. He has had me. Yes. I can also be a tactician, man. Exactly like I said, is what he's doing. Because now in this case, it's actually Trossard and Gyökeres who are coming on. So that means Trossard. So I think Merino's one has been taken off. So of course it's Gyökeres who's gonna play. And then of course Eze has also been replaced by Trossard. Can pretty much predict those changes, which is good. I like that. I like that. That is being proactive. What Arteta has done is what you call being proactive. With other managers, I'm sure they would keep it as it is, hoping that things would change. But the longer the game goes, the harder it becomes to change things. But at least what I like about Arteta, especially this season, is that he's not been shy to take people off at halftime, which is good. That is very proactive, man. So that's why I said it's still early, man. Still very, very early. So this game is far from being over. And like I said, I think I fancy Arsenal to come back and win. I fancy them to come back into this game and win because of I hope if those changes work out for them, then I think they're gonna come back and win this game. So, like I predicted, Eze and Merino off for Trossard and Gyökeres. So Gyökeres is now gonna play up front. Eze has been taken off to be replaced by Trossard. Trossard is now gonna play off the left. So that's very fair. That's very fair. That's very ballsy from Arteta. He's actually done well. That's actually a good change. So at least now they can actually ping balls into the box. At least now there's a constant threat in the box. Yeah, so that's good. That is good. From that's a very positive change. Very, very positive change. I will not be surprised if they're going to win this game. I will not be surprised because I'd expect them now to go on and win this game. Anyway, second half is underway, guys. Second half is underway. Aston Villa have kicked us off. Trossard with the up and over into Gyökeres. Gyökeres, this is Trossard. A foul by that Rogers or McGinn. It's a free kick to Arsenal. Be taken by Rice. Now with Odegaard. Odegaard back with Rice. Odegaard is now Zubamendi. Zubamendi back to Califiori. Califiori is Rice. Is Odegaard. Odegaard into Saka. Saka. Saka cross it to the box. Cross to the box. Cleared by Konsa. It's out for a corner. Yeah, Konsa would not take any chances there. Because even though the ball would have actually sailed comfortably into Martinez's arms, clearly did not know what was happening behind him. So, good defending. Anyway, it's a corner to Arsenal. Their first corner of the game. Oh, wow. It's their first corner. I hadn't noticed. Let's see. Set piece FC. Let's see what they're going to do from this corner. Corner to be taken by Saka. Saka into the box. Cleared by Tielemans. Circled by Odegaard. Is now with Saka. Odegaard cross it. Odegaard crosses into the box. Martinez. Shot by Trossard straight at Martinez. Martinez came out well, huh? At least not shy to come out and pick up that ball, huh? It's Trossard. Now Gyökeres. Gyökeres into Trossard. Gyökeres. Cleared by Pau Torres. Arsenal have started brightly, which is good. That is what they need to do. You need to go on the attack, man. And just keep Villa pegged back. Odegaard is Zubamendi. Now White. It's like they're still retaining the same tactic where Saka is just a wide man. Just relying on Saka beating his man. It's like White is not going on the overlap. Odegaard with a crossfield pass. Cash. What is he appealing for? Clearly, there's no foul there, man. There's no foul. Why are you appealing for a foul? Yep. Long throw opportunity for Arsenal. The big guns coming forward. Hincapie, Timber. I don't know what McGinn is doing there, clearly. Who are throwing from Califiori, man. Didn't even beat the first man. Bamendi is now Odegaard. Odegaard. Now Saka. Saka versus Madsen. Saka. This White has gone on the overlap. It's Pau Torres. Pau Torres. This is Watkins. Who are playing from Watkins, man? Hey, Watkins. It's a time for you to hold on to the ball and just relieve pressure off your team. Free kick to Arsenal. Yeah, Saka was being held back by Rogers. White, cross it. Odegaard, looking for Trossard. Trossard! Across the face of goal, man. It's a good chance, man. Wonderful run from Trossard. Checked back just to stay on side, and then he ran forward. Wow, wonderful run, man. Trossard is clearly Arsenal's best player on that left-hand side. It's clearly Arsenal's best player on that far side. Martinez with the kick forward into Watkins. Watkins. It's like Watkins cannot lead this line, man. Why can't he just hang on to the ball, eh? It's Timber. Back to Raya. Now with the Nikapie. Now with the Timber into Odegaard. Odegaard coming deep. This can clearly see that the fullbacks are not inverting now. Huh? It's picked up by McGinn. McGinn is now Onana. Onana to Madsen. Madsen coming forward for Villa. It's now with Pau Torres. It's Cash, Mati Cash. Back with Konsa, Pau Torres. Pau Torres to Onana. Onana dispossessed. It's a chance for Arsenal. Come on, Odegaard. Odegaard into Saka. Trossard. Goal! 1-1. Yep, mistake from Onana. Dispossessed. And just like that, Arsenal are back level. Wonderful play from Trossard, man. What an inspired change, man, at halftime. Trossard immediately comes on and gets a goal. That was a mistake from Onana. Was clearly, he was dispossessed in the middle. Then ball was picked up by Saka. Then Odegaard came forward, played in Saka. Saka crossed into the box to Martinez, pushed it away, but only as far as Odegaard. Odegaard just passed the ball into the net via deflection. Cash. So, but that was good. At least Arsenal were able to capitalize on that mistake from Onana. Because clearly it was a mistake by Onana. They were unable to keep the ball properly, and of that turnover, Arsenal were able to score. So this can pretty much say now, at least now the game is now fair. Our game is in a balance. So I do fancy now Arsenal to go on and win this game from here. Odegaard is Trossard. Trossard into the box. But cooked the cross, man. Madsen with the throw. It's picked up by Saka. That's played by White. Getting away from Tielemans. Gyökeres. Tielemans. This is Watkins. Watkins not gonna do anything. Watkins. Told you, Watkins is useless. Watkins is useless. Pretty much plays a very predictable game. It's picked up by Onana. Is now Madsen. Madsen coming forward to Rogers. Rogers into Madsen. Madsen into the box. Yeah. Wonderful cross. Now picked up by Rogers. Rogers. Is he fouled by Timber? Yep, he was fouled by Timber. You know, let's look like coming together of legs. The foul, yeah. And it's a free kick to Aston Villa. Free kick to the Villains. Free kick to the Villains. Who's gonna cross it? Is it McGinn or who? Tillemans. Tillemans over this set piece. Gotta be careful they don't concede on the counter. Tillemans. Tillemans into the box. Cleared by Rice. As far as his camera is Martina does decoy. What a pass! So Rogers! Come on, surely. What a pass from John McGinn. Come on, Matty Cash. What better chance do you want? What a pass, man. Just control the ball, man. You had the time. Had the time to control the ball, man. Calafiori. Fury loses out. It's picked up by Cash. Onana, was he clipped by White? Nope, no foul, no foul. Gonna be a throw into Arsenal. Actually, Villa. Unai Emery, good evening, good evening, good evening. Why does he look so worried, man? He looks so worried, man. Take it easy, relax, relax. It's just 90 minutes, just a game, man. As Mourinho put it, it's just another game. The end of the day, it's just another game. Pau Torres goes long. Saka has to play in Gyökeres, just down by Konsa. Is now Kamara. Kamara into McGinn. McGinn is now with Cash. Back with McGinn. Is Konsa. Pau Torres. Madsen. Madsen into Rogers. Is now Onana. Konsa. Back to Cash. They're just happy to keep the ball. Going nowhere at the moment. Konsa, Pau Torres. To Watkins. Is Onana. Rogers. Rogers away from White. To McGinn on the far side. McGinn into Cash. Blocked by Trossard. Wonderful block, man. Now with Cash. Is now Kamara. Back with Konsa. Pau Torres. Pass is now Madsen. Pass is now Kamara. Tillemans into Madsen. Is Kamara. Kamara. This is Rogers. Rogers. This is Madsen. Onana. This is McGinn. McGinn blocked by Trossard. Arsenal are currently pegged back into their half. Was that offside? Oh, McGinn. McGinn! Ah, yeah, yeah. Gyökeres slices the clearance. This is pretty much Villa's best period of the game. They've actually had Arsenal pegged back in their box. 60 minutes, man. This game is actually going by so fast. Matikash, the long throw into Onana, over Rice. Madsen over the bar. Should be doing better with that, eh? But that's the kind of chance where if you strike it well, close into the back of the net. If you don't, you sky it into row Z. What is Raul doing here? What is Raul Gonzalez doing here? Former Madrid player. Legend, Maza legend. He's Watkins. He's the one who's wasting this team. Watkins is clearly the way he's playing. It's like somebody might think like Villa in complete control. Maybe they are leading like a 6-0. Madsen, Genesaka. Hi, that should have been an Arsenal throw-in. The ball was off Madsen last. Seriously? Already been given, guys. It's already been given. Arsenal need to throw back into play. Away by White. Cleared by Tillemans. Come on, Emery, take off Watkins. Just take him off. Bring on maybe somebody like a Marlon. At least a Marlon has got more industry and desire. But this Watkins fella, he's so casual, man. It's like his play is so casual. Not in a good way, definitely. But you see, it's not like the Lewandowski casual where, like, this guy, he's got it, man. He's got a finishing, he's got a... Well, but Watkins, should be a person that he takes off. Now with yeah, thank you. He's had me, man. Thank you. The manager's had me, man. Oh my God. Ubaka Kamara. What the heck was he doing, man? Almost a mistake. Well, it was a mistake from Trossard. Eh? He's so lucky he wasn't punished. Eh? This is what you call a wonderful chance falling to the worst player. Is Gyökeres into Ben White. Ben White. The box. Picked up by Rice. Trossard. Trossard getting away from camera. Trossard loses out. Watkins. It's now picked up by Rogers. Rogers into Watkins. Watkins is not going to do anything. Watkins shot. Wide away by Raya. Watkins is not doing it. That was a routine chance for him. I don't know. I should have buried that. Eh? Bring on Marlon ASAP. Bring on Marlon because Watkins is finishing today and his style of play. Yep. This is Odegaard. Odegaard coming forward. He's now with Saka. Come on, help him out, man. Help him out. Saka is gonna Kelly has the beating of Madsen. But Madsen has done well today, huh? Saka, Odegaard, Odegaard, Trossard. Wonderful run from Trossard. Oh, he's on the offside, man. Wonderful run from Trossard. Well found by Odegaard. Was being taken off. Please don't let it be Rogers. Take off Watkins. Who's been taken off for Villa? Is it Watkins? Marlon. Marlon for who? Yeah, thank you. Watkins off. Thank you. Yeah. That's an inspired change. I would have also done that, yeah, because clearly this Watkins fella. Pathetic. Poor performance from Watkins. Marlon is Marlon has got way more industry than Watkins. Is Odegaard straight at Martinez. Marlon. This Marlon has got way more industry than Watkins. Zubamendi back with Timber. Marlon. Madsen. Poor decision making, man. Rice. Over the bar. What else can Arsenal do in this game? Whom can they bring on? They're gonna take off Saka for Madueke? I don't know. Maybe they should, huh? Martinelli, yeah. Martinelli has been told to warm up. Take by Timber. He's Marlon. Marlon trying to get away from two. There was no back pass. Come on. It's a challenge on you, man. This is Rice to Trossard. Trossard. Yeah, by Tillemans. Wonderful dummy from Camara. By McGinn. Marlon. Like this game is developing in different sets of pattern. Like one team attacks, the other defends, and then momentum switches over to the other team. Going on here, man. Wonderful save from Martinez, What you call a fingertip save, man. It over the bar. It's a corner to Arsenal. Taking a Declan Rice. The player who's got a very sweet delivery, Declan Rice. Rice crossed into the box. Get back by Califiori. Saka! Ah! Saka was trying to place it to the far post. Wonderful block from Kamara. Timber unable to get to the cross. That was nice thinking from Saka. Rather than blast it in, he tried to place it in the far corner. But Kamara saw shot coming in and just got to stick out a foot. Martinez moves it forward. Looking for McGinn. By Zubamendi. Now with Gyökeres. Come on. Odegaard. Saka into the box. Rice. Gyökeres. Well defended. Califiori is going to be a yellow card. Yep, first yellow card of the game, for Califiori. It's clearly holding back McGinn. Yep, and with that yellow card, that means that Califiori is going to miss the next game. I think Arsenal's next game is against Wolves. And it's a decent rest for him anyway. Martinez goes long looking for Madsen. Led by Timber. By Onana. Is Marlon. Marlon is gonna get to it. Paul on Trossard. Yeah, Jadon Sancho about to come on for Villa. Man like Jadon Sancho. Bogard and Sancho about to come on. Bogard and Sancho about to come on for Aston Villa. They're gonna come on now or what? Want to take off McGinn or what? Maybe take off Tielemans. Tielemans has been non-existent. He looks tired, man. He looks knackered out there. We take off Tielemans and bring on, maybe just switch McGinn over to the middle. Rogers versus Saka. It's now with Odegaard. Capier to Rice. Timber, Odegaard. Saka unable to play through to Odegaard. Madsen coming forward. Come on. Saka, relax. Yellow card, man. I thought he got the ball. I think Saka got the ball there. He didn't. Did he? He never got the ball. He actually clipped Madsen. So, Bukayo Saka gets the yellow card. Aston Villa making a few changes here. So, McGinn for Sancho. Then who's being taken off? Onana. Onana is also being taken off for Bogarde. So Onana has been taken off. So what Arsenal? No, Arsenal not made any other change. Maybe take off Saka as well. We bring on Madueke or Martinelli. Game is actually crying for somebody like a Martinelli. Somebody just to run at the back line. Because so far, nobody has been running at that back line. Led by Pau Torres, led away by Marlen. Saka collision with Martinez. No, you want him to be given a red card? No, there's no need to give him a red card. What is Saka supposed to do? Is he supposed just to wait, let the ball run to the keeper like that? He's of course entitled to go for the ball. So that's what I've always said about goalkeepers being protected. Goalkeepers being protected as if they are what? It's like they are God's gift to mankind. I'm sorry I said that. And it's a free kick to, excuse me, it's a free kick to Aston Villa. And Martinez, get on with it, man. Get on with it. Villa happy with their point or what? We'll see. Martinez kicks it forward. Picked up by Marlen. Sorry, Madsen. Madsen to Konsa. Konsa leaves it for Cash. Cash back to Konsa. Back to Martinez. Martinez goes long. Bogard. Bogard. Is it Bogard or Bogard? Now it's Sancho. Sancho into Bogard. Now with Konsa. Now Pau Torres. So Madueke is gonna come on to replace Saka. So Saka I think has run his race. This is trust. Marlon! Oh, just wide. Yeah. I thought he buried it. Yeah. I thought he had buried the chance. Wonderful run from Sancho. Califiori played it off his own hand. Yeah. Marlon. Unlucky. Yeah, both sides have had chances. So, Saka off for Madueke. So, Saka off for Madueke. Madux, I call him Madux. Yeah, so definitely now, at least now, Madueke with the fresh legs can actually get to the byline. He can actually run in behind. It's actually a good thing. Tillemans, picked up by Camara. This is Rogers into Cash. Cash into Camara. Tillemans. Oh my God. Rogers, not strong enough. Oh, not fast enough. There's a lot of space for Rogers, Clearly, Rice today playing as the deep lying player maker, man. Where is Zubamendi? Rice is the one who's been tasked with creating for this Arsenal side. Where is Hincapié? Hincapié is now on the left. A bad pass from Hincapié, man. Surely. Bogard, Rogers, Marlen rather. Marlen. Tillemans versus Rice. Rice unable to control the balls. Out for a throw-in. Has either side done enough to get a victory in this game? I don't know. I don't know if the other side has done enough to get a victory here. It's Tillemans. This is Rogers. Just loses out. Raya hoofs it clear. Looking for Gyökeres. Gyökeres. Muscled, man. He's by himself. This is Matikash. Matikash to Rogers. Rogers into Tillemans. Tillemans. Marlen. Tillemans. Unable to play in Tillemans. Gyökeres, get up, man. You're looking for it. There's no way you're going to be given a foul for that. Is Konsa back with Madsen, Jadon Sancho, Sancho into Madsen, Madsen into the box. Oh, almost an own goal, man, of Timber. You're lucky, man. So lucky. Ay, 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 ay. Cash over the top into Rogers. 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 What is Rice doing? Come on. It's Kamara. It's Tillemans. Poor cross, man. Tillemans should be the guy should have been the guy to be taken off. Martinez. Yeah, picked up by Rogers again. This is Tillemans. This is clearly Aston Villa's best moment of the game. They clearly need to go on the ascendancy. Or if they think if they are gonna win this game, they need to score within the next minute or so, because it's the best period of the game. This is the longest that they have been in the Arsenal half. This is Rogers. Rogers. Back. Rogers. What's Rogers doing, surely? You play with others, man. Come on. Oh, man. Now Arsenal on the counter is Madueke. Madueke. Madueke to Ben White. Ben White blocked by Madsen. Sometimes it's more on White. Don't just let it go out of play. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so far, I don't know. Arsenal have clearly slowed this game down. It's like they really want to win. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they can. Maybe they will. It's Califiori on the far left side. Back to Nkapie. Nkapie into Declan Rice. Back with Rice. It's now with Zubamendi. Zubamendi into Odegaard. Is about to be replaced by Nwaneri. This is Rice. Nkapie. Is Trossard okay? Trossard. Plays it in. The corner. So Martinelli about to come on. Yeah. Timber is lucky. Clearly wrong-footed Raya there. The ball just went just rolled slowly across goal, man. Anyway, whoever gets whoever scores now is pretty much gets the winner. So whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Villa, so if let's hope See whether my prediction is gonna come true. Because I'd picked a victory for Arsenal. Anyway, corner to Arsenal to be taken by Rice. Madueke and Odegaard are just right on the edge of the box. Rice to the box. Roof of the net, man. Roof of the net. So Odegaard gonna be replaced by Martinelli. Should be a corner. So Lewis Kelly for Califiori. So Trossard been taken off. I think he's injured. So Trossard has been taken off to be replaced by Martinelli. So Lindelof for Marty Cash. And who's also been taken off? I think should be Tillemans. Tillemans for Buendia. Or it's actually Torres, yeah. So Buendia has come on to replace Torres. Jeez, man. What the heck is he doing, man? So Lindelof not going to play at the back. Who's going to be the... So it's going to be Skonsa and who? Kamara. This is Rogers. And here with the flick. No one in particular. Madueke, you can get to that ball. Come on, Madueke. Tillemans. Still have taken off a fullback for a midfielder. Yeah. Quite ballsy. Quite ballsy. That means Bogarde is going to play on the right. Then Lindelof and Konsa as the centre backs. Sancho. Tillemans. Block shot from by Rice. Oh, what a touch from Buendia, man. Buendia. Nice challenge by Buendia. Martinelli. Come on, Martinelli, surely. Clearly nudged him off the ball, clearly. Seriously, man. Anyway. Choosing to go long. It's now a matter of how many minutes the referee is going to add today. Maybe 5 or 6. Pretty much led away by Hincap. Cappy rather. Let's sit down. Let it run out of play. So maybe foreseeing maybe like 4 or 5 minutes of added time. Enough time for either team to get a winner. But on the balance of play, I don't know who seems more likely to get the winner. Lindelof with a header. By Madueke. Kamara. Yeah, Madueke was being fouled. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Excuse me. many minutes of stoppage time are we gonna have? Arsenal opting to go forward. Raya over the free kick. It's gonna be taken to the far side, and then somebody heads it back into middle, led away by Rogers. Skelly. Rogers on the scene, able to control the ball. How many minutes? 4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes of added time. Maybe Arsenal are gonna get a winning goal. Who knows? But on the balance of play, you know what? A draw is a fair result for either side. A draw is clearly a fair result for either side. So I will not be surprised if it ended in a draw. But at the same time, because of Arsenal's desire to win games later on, I will not be surprised if they're also gonna go on to win this game. Long throw to be taken by Rice. Rice, long throw into the box by White. Picked up by Martinez. Martinez to Rogers. Rogers puts it forward. Looking for Odegaard. Picks up the ball. Where's the urgency? Come on, man. Kapie. This is Timber. Timber into Madueke. This Madueke first chance to run at Madsen. By Sancho. This is Buendia. This is Camara. Camara. Oh man, that's tricky, man. Martinez to Lindelof. Lindelof hoops it clear. Looking for Marlen. Marlen, exactly, man. Almost a wonderful cushion header to Sancho. Odegaard, man of the match. Based on what? But can you really pick a man of the match in this game? Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, Martinelli being forced back. Has to be the last chance for Arsenal. Nkapie looking for Declan Rice. Declan Rice into the box. Madueke! Side netting. Come on, Madueke. Should be doing a whole lot better with that chance. Madueke. Come on, Madueke. Should be doing better with that chance. Come on, man. Maybe try and curl it to the far post using your left foot. Anyway, started by this is Sancho into Marlen. Well defended by Nkapie. Nkapie, is he going to overrun the ball? Yep. Buendia into Sancho. Sancho. Buendia. Oh, taken off his foot. Tillemans. This is a Camara. Camara into Rogers. Marlen. Marlen. Rogers. Sancho. Tillemans saved. Buendia. Camara. Ay. Buendia. Goal! Buendia, man! 2-1 Aston Villa with the last kick of the game. Emmanuel Buendia. What a finish by Buendia. What a finish, man. It was a goal mouth scramble. Arsenal was saved first time round, blocked by Raya, blocked again, but was it Nkapie or Rice? But Buendia could not be denied there, man. Whoa, it was a goal mouth scramble, man. What a goal mouth scramble, man. Whoa. I can't believe I celebrated like that, man. Ay, 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 ay. Emmanuel Buendia, man. With the last kick of the game, man. What? Hey, the substitutes have done their part in this game. Yep, build up. Marlen crossed by Rogers into Sancho. It was blocked by Raya initially, blocked again by Timber. Buendia tries to take in the shot. It was a goal mouth scramble. And then Camara, another block shot by Timber again. And then Buendia just passed the ball into the top corner, man. What a finish. What a finish, man. What a finish. That has to be the last kick of the game, man. Game over. Saitan. Man like Buendia, man. I feel for us, honestly. I do feel for them, man. That game did not deserve a winner at all because it was pretty much balanced. You can't really, a draw would have been a fair result. Arsenal have just bottled it at the last hour, man. Last minute, rather. Last minute. Goal scored in the 95th minute, man. But it is that goal mode scramble, especially chaos in the box. That amount of chaos in the box is actually bad because the ball can fall to anyone. And it did fall to Buendia because the Arsenal defense was all over the place. Man. But anyway, kudos to Aston Villa, man. Kumbe the manager knew what he was doing, man. Taking off a defender in Pau Torres to bring on Buendia. And just like that, it has paid off. It has paid off, man. So sorry, Arsenal fans. I am so sorry. But I need even to stop the clock, man. Yeah. With that win, the title race is now wide open. Because like I said, Aston Villa now moving to second position, 3 points behind Arsenal. And if Man City win their game against Sunderland, they close the gap to 2 points. But I still think Arsenal have got what it takes to win this title. Like I said, the other teams, the chasing pack, the Villas, the Liverpools, the Chelseas, the Cities, they are not consistent enough to challenge Arsenal for this league title. I don't think they are consistent enough. So that's why I said, still Arsenal's title to lose, man. It is still their title to lose. Because this was actually a hard-fought game, and it was quite even. You know what? If Arsenal would have won it, fair to them. If Villa have actually won it, fair play to them, because this game had a draw written all over it. It had a draw written all over it, and then clearly it was a top of the table clash. Like I said from the beginning, it was a top of the table clash, because just like that, man, Arsenal might be bottling but it's still early days. Tell me, Bottlers FC told you, no, it's still early days, man. Back to what I just said earlier, I don't think City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and the rest of the chasing pack have got enough to rival Arsenal for this title. I don't think they've got enough. I don't think so. Because Arsenal still have players to come back. They still have the likes of Gabriel to come back. Who else? Who else is also coming back? Saliba. Their team is also at full strength, and also maybe Kai Havertz. So they're going to have more options. And I do think on the balance of play, I don't think the other teams have got the enough squad depth to challenge these guys. I don't think they have got enough squad depth to challenge them. Because like you saw on Wednesday, Arsenal were able to rotate against Brentford. And even though it was a labored victory, but at least they managed to get over the line. But I'm surprised, honestly. Honestly, I did not expect a winner from Aston Villa in this game. I did not expect. So, tell me that I don't think they have bottled the title. They have not yet bottled the title. It's still early days. It's still way early, man. This is game week 15. Still have like 22 more games to go. Actually, 23 more games to go. So many points. 23 times 3 is what? That's 69 points. 69 points to play for. Those are a lot of points. And I don't think they're going to be toppled by any team, because Man City might as well go today against Sunderland and lose that game or draw. And if they draw or lose, it is still advantage Arsenal, because the gap remains the same. That's why if Man City, okay, because currently, let me just show you guys the table so that we're all on the same, same page. Yeah, so as you can see, Aston Villa with that victory, they move on to second position. Just up 2 points ahead of Man City, and 3 points behind Arsenal. So if Man City want to win their game, they move on to 31. If Chelsea are not out of the title, so don't even need to consider Chelsea, because if Chelsea were to win, they move on to 27, 33. It's still far. So the only chasing pair currently are Aston Villa and Man City. And with City, based on their performance just the other day against Fulham, I also think that they are shipping way too many goals, and I don't think they'll be able to rival Arsenal for this title. So it is still Arsenal's title to lose. It is Arsenal's title to lose. Arsenal's title to lose. So I don't expect Arsenal to take their foot off the pedal, but at least they've got players coming back into the fray. So eventually, they're just gonna click into gear and take on the rest. But anyway, guys, just about to sign off. And it's been a good, decent game of football. Honestly, it's been a good game of football. Clearly, Arsenal, I don't know what happened to them today, but like I said, in fact, I was even telling, was it Anton in the chat before? The way they are playing is like they did not really have the urgency. And the second half, until they equalized, the rest of the half, the second half, they were just playing like they were in the first half. It's like it doesn't really matter. We've already won this game. We don't have to be excellent to win. But sometimes you have to be excellent. You have to be excellent. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being part of this watch along. Arsenal conceding a 95th minute goal that has killed them off, man, in that game. But like I said, it was a fair result. It's a fair result. Whoever would have won this game, I don't think it would have been unfair on them. But anyway, let me at least take a small break, because later on, have the other games coming up. We have the 6 p.m. games: Man City, Sunderland, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Newcastle, Burnley. Who else is playing? Tottenham, Brentford, and of course, last but not least, Everton versus Nottingham Forest. So please do tune in for that game. Let me just go take a small break. I'll be back for those watch-alongs, games that are kicking off at the top of the hour. Games will be kicking off at 1800 hours Kenyan time, or if you prefer, 1500 GMT. Anyway, it's been wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for being part of this watch-along. I've clearly enjoyed it. Till the next one, peace.